In today's video, it's going to be very unique and something different that I normally don't do, so you want to watch this all the way to the end. Here's what we normally do on Sundays. I normally go through the news events and, and just kind of get you prepared for that. Today is going to be different. The reason why is because some of you guys, for the first time last week, if you're new to trading, you went through Hell Week. Hell Week was where there's tons and tons and tons of news events that come out all throughout the week, and it wreaks havoc on your trading portfolio. We did survive through Hell Week for the copycat group with 12 wins and 6 losses, which 6 is not normal for us at all. But again, what can you do? It was Hell Week, and I warned you guys about that on last Sunday before the week even began. The good news is this week there isn't anything newsworthy reporting for you guys, so I'm not going to really get into news. What I am going to do in this video, I'm going to go through each one of the trading pairs and show you what happened to them last week and give you some heads up on what potential opportunities may be presenting themselves this week for you to trade. Okay, so that's the reason why I said you want to go and stick with this video all the way, because I'm going to go through every single pair, and I'm going to go through it with the Ocean Wave system and also with the Simplicity system. Now, with that being said, one important factor that you guys have to consider before we even get into this, and let me know if this is helpful below, okay? What you need to know is this. For those who have been teaching you about midweek reversals, so you want to be a reversal trader, meaning that if you trade supply and demand zones, support and resistance levels and all those different things, typically those are going to kick in midweek, and you're going to see some of that happening when I show you the charts, okay? So with that type of trading, I usually like to do go with the Simplicity Sexy Analyst combination of my systems. But in the beginning of the week, I like to typically go with the Ocean Wave because it goes with the trend, which is what the market tends to do at the beginning of the week. However, I have told you guys in a specific video about a month or so ago, go back to my YouTube channel, I don't remember which one it was, but I told you about days of exception or exceptional days. What that means is that if there was a huge market moves at the prior week, especially towards the end of the week, then what happens sometimes is that the market tries to regain its balance and its footing, and you may see reversal trades, which normally happens midweek, happening at the beginning of the week. And there was so many fireworks that happened in the market last week. I do believe, now I could be wrong, but I do believe that some of this of what I'm talking about as far as these market moves and reversals, early reversals, may take place as early as Sunday or Monday, okay? Which is not normal, but it was not a normal trading week last week, okay? So as we get to these charts, just be aware that I'm telling you that ahead of time, okay? All right, let's get to it. All right, here we go. Number one, as you can see, this is the US 30, which, by the way, I loved it. It was a great play on this one. It respected exactly what we were looking for those who trade indices and have the sexy analyst. If you don't have the sexy analyst, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because this thing just really, especially from the 4 hour, there was just no way you couldn't have seen this. Okay, just no way. Okay. So if you have the sexy simplicity, all right, so let me add those two together because I usually trade with both of them. You can see simplicity have its zones. You have your everything you need, basically. There was just no way you couldn't have seen this, okay? Just no way possible. Here was the arrow from simplicity, and the thing dropped. Okay, so the sexy simplicity combo is by far the best of the best of the best. If you're going to be a person who likes to trade support and resistance, supply and demand zones, trend line bounces, and all those different things, that's why I can see them so easily. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get to the currencies. Okay, this is for AUD NZD. You can see it was setting up nicely for a little short reversal. It wasn't ready yet, but you can see it. Right there, it was right there in your face. You can see it. It was triple top, 1, 2, and there we go, okay? But look at this run, and this is what we're going to be talking about when we get to the NZD pairs. I have no idea, and I want to say this up front, I don't have any idea what happened with the NZD pairs, because out of all the 7 currency pairs, 6 out of the 7 pairs reported news events, but the one that did not report any news was NZD, and yet it was havoc. It was havoc on the NZD, and I don't know what happened with it. So that's kind of creepy to me. That was kind of creepy. Okay, I wish I would have known what kind of news was out, but I have no idea. But you're going to see that with all the NZD pairs, that they have major moves going on, and I don't know what happened. Okay, so anyway, let's go to the AUD. As you can see, the AUD dropped massively for two reasons. Number one, AUD USD dropped because the AUD came out with interest rate numbers, or interest rate, or it was interest rate announcement that the people didn't like, so it was already dropping. And then you had it going against the dollar, which gained strength this last week, and so it had a double drop. However, as you can see with the supply and demand zones, which I have in the gray color here with the sexy analyst, by the way, you can change these colors. Let me go to the sexy so you guys can see what I mean. Okay, I just gray them out so that I don't have to see them, but watch this. I'll change the upper color to yellow, and I'll change the bottom color to white, so you guys can kind of see that you can choose whatever colors you want, and voila to the la. So now you can clearly see the supply and demand zones. The support and resistance are the dots, as you can see, and you can see the trend lines right there. Everything is already pre-built in with the sexy analyst. So again, if you don't have it, shame on you. So with this being said, and let me save this simple. I actually like this color combo. Hold on one second. Save that. There we go. All right. So as you can see right here, here's a low, here's a higher low, and this is pretty much at the same level. So again, it has multiple candles tap dancing off the bottom here, which shows strong support at this level. So again, it can break through here, but if it does, here's where I'm looking at. As long as it doesn't cross below this supply and demand zone level right here, as you can see that right here. Okay, you see that? So this is saying, okay, as long as it stays in this mini batter's box, we good to go for upward move. Now, can it pull down some more through Sunday? Yes, it could. But can we see an early bounce to the upside? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, possibly, which is why I'm telling you guys, most of the time, I never look for reversals at the beginning of the week. Never. But in this situation, because this thing has already dropped more than how many pips? 100 and about 120 pips already. It does need to come up for a breather. Here's something else you want to keep in mind. Now watch this. This is going to be very important for those who have never watched my channel. I'm going to teach you something that is extremely powerful. It is right there in your face, and yet nobody ever recognizes it. Okay? So make sure you're watching this. I'm about to show you an example right now. Here we go. All right. I call this, for those who come to my class every Wednesday, which is free. It's free every Wednesday. The link is below. The Zoom link is below in the description. Just click on it, and you don't have to purchase anything. My classes are free. Just come on in so you can learn these things. I call this the slant patterns. Okay. Watch this. I'm going to mark up this chart, and I'm just showing you guys why there may be early potential bounce moves. Okay. Watch what I do. I'm just going to mark this up. Those who've been to my class, you already know exactly what I'm doing. You know exactly what I'm doing, because I've been teaching the same concept for years. Slant patterns always bounce up or down, depending. So watch this, and I can mark this one. You'll see it here. Watch this. Slant. It happens all the time. It's been like this for eons. When there's a slant pattern, and look at this, slant down, pop up, slant down, pop up, slant down, pop up, slant down. What happens next? Pop up. And watch this. Hold on. Look, you'll see this one. It happens even in mini sizes. Slant down, popped up. What happened next? Equivalent to size, or half the size minimum, you'll see it will do the same thing going the opposite direction. So it will at least do it to a matching, or to at least half of it. So for an example, you can see this one back here. This was a slant pattern to the downside. And what did it do? It popped up at least to half the size right there. Okay, see that? Then it slanted back down. And then what did it do? Almost equivalent to the exact same amount, it popped right back up. You see that? And then what did it do? It dropped down to the downside. And then because this only gave it half, this one said, no, we're going to bring this all the way back up. And what did it do? Popped back up. Then it dropped. Popped back up. Then it dropped. Then we have what? Another pop-up. Huge pop-up. And when there's a huge pop-up, what was next? A huge pullback. Then a pop-up. Then a pullback. So with all this boom, pop, boom, pop, boom, pop, boom, pop, boom. What do you think is going to happen next? Somewhere along these lines, which is why I said anywhere in this area, I would be happy with a boom. Even if this thing came back to 50% of it, right to there, I would be happy with it. But either way it goes, this week, me personally, I will be looking for some recovery trades. I will, me personally. And this is just one of many. We only got to the second pair, and you can already see exactly what I mean. Okay? If this is helpful, leave a comment below. Make sure you guys let me know if this kind of stuff is helpful. Look at this. So, again, mini slant, pop up. Slant, pop up. Slant, pop up. Sideways market. And even with sideways, look. Slant, pop up, slant, pop up, slant, pop up, hard slant. And I like the hard slants. Okay, that's the ones I like, the hard slants. Because when they do hard slants, they do nice hard pop-ups. Hard slant, hard pop-up, hard slant, hard pop-up. That's where you get the major moves. Okay, because it's trying to regain or catch its breath. Okay. Okay. So I'm looking at these major pairs that did all this dropping. Look at this AUD. See, look, slant, pop up, slant, pop up, slant, pop up, slant, hard pop up. See that? Slant, pop up, almost to the dot. Mini slant, huge pop up, huge pullback. What do you think will happen next? Now this one, it can come back down some more. Like I said, it can, but I'm going to be looking for what? Huge recoveries. That's what I'm going to be looking for. So AUDs, look at this. Here's an example. Okay, here we go. Hard slant, hard pop up. Hard slant, look what happened. Look what happened when it hit into that batter's box, hit support, and bounced off that trend line. Here's a perfect example. What did it do? Started popping up. Let's drop down to a shorter time frame and you'll see it. Look at that. Started recovery right from here. That was about 38 pips so far. This is what I'm looking for. Hard slants, hard recoveries. Okay? The harder the slant, harder the recovery. See how this one did it? See? You see how this one did it? Hard slant. Look at this. Huge up, huge down. And then boom, it finds its footing and it starts shooting back up. That's what I'm looking for on some of these pairs, especially on the AUD. I'm sorry, this markup was supposed to be for the other channel, and now these lines and showed up on this one. I don't know why, but either way it goes, let me just get rid of these real quick. And again, let me know if this is helpful to you guys so you guys can see this. And I typically, you can really see these on the 4-hour time frame very, very clearly. Okay, very, very clearly. The higher the time frame, the more you'll see these, and then you'll know where, if you're just going to manually try to draw in support and resistance, which, by the way, I don't know why you would do that, but go ahead and do your thing. Sexy Analyst does it for me in seconds. As you can see, I don't have to do any of that marking up my chart stuff no more. That's archaic. It really is archaic, which, by the way, we do have it set now for the MT5. I'm going to be sending over to my encryption team. And once they get that done and get it licensed into the license system, then all of these indicators will be available for you guys in the MT5 as well. Okay. All right. Slant pattern, pop up, slant, pop up, slant, pop up, slant, pop up, slant, huge pop up. That's why you had a huge move to the downside. Can this go down further? I think it could. I really do think it could. And when we get to the ocean wave, we'll see that. But eventually, like I said, this week, I'm going to be looking for recoveries. Okay. Cat Swiss is not my favorite pair, so that's that. All right, look at this. Here we go again. Huge. Let me see something. I'm going to pause this for a second. Let me see something. Okay, what I did, guys, I switched this over to the Hakanashi candles. Okay, Hakanashi candles. Those are pre-built into your MT4 and MT5. Okay, so I switched to the Hakanashi candles so that you guys can kind of see the patterns a little bit better. Okay, so now you can see where it can truly, you can see where it's trending down very easily. Now when I mark up these charts, watch this. You can see the downward. Okay, huge downside. What happens next? Huge pop up. Then because of that huge pop up, guess what? Huge to the downside. Can this continue? Yes, it possibly can. Okay, I'm hoping that it will bounce up and then continue back down to continue to cover more territory. And we'll see that once we get to the sexy analyst, okay? All right, let's keep going. All right, now you guys can see these slant patterns pretty easily now with the Hakanashi candles. You see that? Slant, slant, pop up, and eventually this thing, and again, here's the problem with this. Remember I told you the NZD pairs fell like a rock to the ground, okay? And any pair that had the NZD on the backside of it went shot like crazy up. So therefore, I do expect that this week there may be some reversal coming on, and if it does, these could be some massive moves to recover, okay? All right, this gave me nothing, okay? So again, let me do this. What I did was I saved that template so I can always go back to the Hakanashi candle type of chart if I need it. But as you guys can see here, and I told you guys on last week, this was just clustering. It was just a hot mess. It did eventually go down, but this is not so. I would have traded just like you can see here. So this pair, the EuroCAD, is not a pair that I would trade using this. But when we get over to the ocean side, you'll see how it's so much smoother. Okay, so much smoother. All right, Euro, same thing. Look at this. Huge move to the upside, huge move to the downside when it started dropping. I hope it comes up and recovers and then continues down. And we'll see this better when we get over to the ocean wave side of it. But if that's so, man, I'm gonna ride that thing until the wheels fall off, because it got a huge, see, huge up, matching down, huge move to the upside. So if it can start coming down, it got a long way to go. All right, let's go here. Euro, AUD, nothing much there. This one, AJ, see, slanted up, slanted down, slanted up, boom. Hopefully it'll pull back up a little bit, and then if so, I want to ride it to the downside. Okay, all right. Euro, AUD, as you can see, and let me go here, just go to sexy so you can kind of see it cleaned up without the other stuff. So you can see it right here, same thing. It's trying to find its footing, okay? So again, this one dropped very harshly because of the US dollar, okay? Same thing here, nothing to see here, nothing much. I don't like the Euro GBP. See, slant pattern up, slanted down. Now, this is an uptrend. You can see the trend line saying, hey, this is an uptrend. So I wouldn't be surprised if the thing recover and come back up eventually. But it could break through support and retest this level. So just be watchful, okay? All right, this one, I don't see nothing much yet. GA, nothing much. This one, hard slant. See that bounce? It hit that support and bounced up, okay? That's what I'm hoping for several pairs. Now, this one took a beating. Absolute beating. This is GU, GBP USD, because of the US dollar announcement. Look at that. Huge beating. But watch this. Watch this. Here we go again. Slant down. Pop up. Watch this. Watch. Slant down. Pop up. Okay. Slant down. Hit support. Popped up. Huge. The huger the move, the opposite direction. As you can see here, look at that huge move. Okay. Now watch this. Bounced huge back up and then fell like a freaking rock to the ground. Huge move to the downside. So if this is a huge move to the downside, what do you think may happen to the upside? Oh, major pipperoos. We just have to be patient and make sure, absolutely for certain, that it is a support level. Okay, so right here, going back to the sexy simple on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, it looks like it's trying to find its footing in this supply and demand zone box, hitting support levels, which you can see the white dot. Okay, and you can see it's sitting on support of the trend line. So it may hover and hang around in that area for a little bit. Let's go to the 15-minute. I think it may come back down and retest this level here, but once it does, it may find its support at that level. As you can see here, it may come back down and retest this level, creating a double bottom. If it does on GBP USD, I am going to be looking for an early reversal. Okay, early reversal. So I'm hoping that it will come down and retest this level. So to prove to me that, yes, this is a strong support. If it does, I'm taking this thing to the upside. Huge move to the upside. Okay, that's GU. Okay, all right, recoveries. Okay, slant patterns. I told you guys, just huge mess. Look at that. Slant huge up, almost to the same amount to the downside. Told you. And NZDs, they've got beat up last week. Terribly beaten. Look at that. Wow. Look at this one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is so cool. What did I tell you guys? Slant patterns, what? Here we go. Huge move to the upside. What's next? Huge move to the downside. Okay, you want to go down hard in the pain? Cool. Let's go hard back up. Okay, you want to go hard back up? All right, cool. We're going to go hard back down. All right, you want to go hard back down? All right, we're going to go hard back up. You want to go hard back up? All right, cool. We're going to go hard back down. And literally, look at that. But look at this. Here's the key, though. Okay, let me move this over so you guys can see it. Move it over just a little bit. Here's a low. Here's a low. And here's a low. But what do you see happening? Here's a low. Here's a higher low. Here's a higher low. Now, that doesn't mean that this won't be retested. It can always come down and retest this level. Who knows? But here's the point. I am expecting a what? Recovery of some sort. Okay? Some type of recovery. And when it does, we could potentially be looking at major pips. Now, look at this beat down. This is the one I have to admit. Yes, I took a loss on this one. But you can see it hit into support level and broke through. I only lost like 30 pips on this trade. So, you know, it is what it is. I thought this was going to be, you know, the last day of the drop, but it didn't. It broke through support by 30 pips. And so it is what it is. We'll make that back easily, which, by the way, on the copycat, we are up 160 wins and only 25 losses for the year. 160 wins and 25 losses. So we can make this back very easily. 30 pips, that's nothing. But as you can see, it was hitting in support, but it broke through, which is why I said it can retest levels. But when it does come back up, I'm expecting a big move to the upside to recover because it's still doing the same thing. It was just hell week last week with news events. Nothing you can do about that. So if you're afraid of losing trades, believe me, it happens to the best of us. Nothing you can do, especially when it's news related. Okay. By the way, what I'm doing here, some of you guys will also remember that they call these zigzag patterns. Okay, zigzags. Okay, when you have that big of a move to the downside, eventually this thing going to come up for a breather. And when it does, it's going to come up and look for some strong move to the upside. Okay, so I do expect it to catch its footing as well. But which one do I like better of the USD pairs for recovery? It would be absolutely GU. That would be my favorite setup. Okay, all right, let's go to the NZD CAD. CAD is looking for support. Again, look at this huge slant popped up. Huge move to the downside because of news on NZD, which I don't know what it was. But this looked like it's trying to catch its footing. Okay, we can even see it from the daily. It broke through the trends and everything. It just collapsed. So for me personally, I would be kind of skeptical of the NZD pairs because I don't know what the news event was that caused them to do an utter collapse in their currency. But I do see strong support. But since it's the beginning of the week, I still would not look for an early reversal. At least let it rest and go through at least 24 hours, in my opinion, just to make sure whatever news events is flushed out completely. And if you still see nice setups hanging around, then hey, look for the recoveries. All right, let's go to the next pair. Now we're looking at the USD pairs. Now, as you can see here, and let me take this back to just sexy alone so you guys can kind of see this. See that? This is what I was talking about. Clearly, you can see it. How can you not see this? Okay, watch this. We have a slant to the upside, slant to the downside. And I'm just going to, I mean, we can go, here's a small slant, then it bounced up. We can do that. Okay, almost matching, retested the same level, creating an M pattern, market maker's method pattern. And there we go. Huge move to the downside. But what I tell you, when there's huge move to the downside, expect huge moves back to the upside. Okay. And where there was little small moves in between there, but just generally, because you can say, okay, it went here, it went here, it went there, and then eventually back up. Okay. So either way it goes, it happened. All right. Just like over here, slanted down, slanted up, slanted down, slanted up. So when there's big, massive moves to the downside, this is where the Feds announced where they weren't going to raise interest rates, and it was a massive move to the downside. But what happened next? It found its support and shot all the way back up. How many, when we say shot up, how many pips is this? That was 156 pips, y'all. Do you see why I get excited about these huge moves? Because I know eventually they're going to have to catch their breath. And when they do, It's going to be a huge move back up. And that means with this one, if this did a huge move up and it's doing a double top, what do I expect? I do expect that at the beginning of the week, early in the week, it may, see, it's doing this little curve head. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. Nope, you ain't fooling me. Uncle P been around too long. Yeah, it could continue down, but I think it'll come back up early and retest this level one more time, and then you may see a recovery to the downside, okay? So just be aware of these setups, okay? This one has already dropped. I think it may come back up and retest, okay? Okay. Same thing with this one. It's already heading back up, so that's that. But look at this massive move to the downside, massive move to the upside, slant pattern here, popped up. Slant pattern here, started popping up. Y'all see the consistency of that? Let's look at gold real quick. Okay, gold, it shot way up like a bottle rocket. Pow, 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 pow. And then it started taking a breather, but this is sitting on strong support. It could come back up because this is a slant pattern. This could come back up. Y'all see this? Come back up and pop. It could do that, okay? All right, now let's go to the ocean wave system real quick, and I'll be a little bit quicker so we can move forward because I got to go. Got another date today, and I don't want to miss my date. All right, so this is the ocean wave system. This one called everything clearly. The ocean wave is a B system. If you don't have that, I would strongly suggest to get it. Out of the trading systems, which one would I get first? I would always start with the ocean wave. It's an absolute beast of a system, and you'll see that now. So let's go through it. NZD, AUD. The entire time it told you stay in the trade and go up, and it did. AUD to the downside. Now this one, midweek reversals and all that kind of stuff. Look at this. It called it. Plenty of pips to the downside, short burst to the upside, but then when it said to go back down, it called it on the dime before that drop happened. See? And it dropped. See how it's telling you, hey, this potentially could still do what? Have some downside effect, which is why I'm telling you guys, yes, I do understand that this has potential for reversals, but it could push back down further. So that's why I was telling you, be on the lookout for setups, but it can still push down further. Okay, it can push down further, which you can clearly see. It's doing the spongy bob square head, so it can do this and drop further. So just be aware of that, okay? All right, nothing there. Look at this one. This is what I'm saying. Me, as far as with Ocean Wave, I am focused on the JPY pairs, okay? Being pushed to the downside. Remember I showed you that on the regular charts on the sexy analyst? I told you that, hey, they are already beginning their downward descent. This is what I meant. You can clearly see it. Okay, you can clearly see it. Okay, so that's that. Now, AUD CAD, you remember I told you it was very choppy and sloppy? See, let me go to the 30-minute. See how the ocean wave cleaned it up like a ball fade at the barbershop? See, cleaned it all the way up. So you can clearly see you could have made some nice profits off of it. Here would have been sketchy, but you can still see it a lot better. Okay. Here's CHF. Don't see anything I like on that. CAD Swiss. Okay. But, see, Ocean Wave, very nice and smooth. Smooths everything out. That's why I like it. I'm hoping for a downward move here. Okay. You can see it's already breaking through the neutral zone, blue neutral zone. So it's setting up for a downward move, which is what I told you guys could potentially happen with this JPY pairs. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. See, and this one is already set up, so I'm waiting for an arrow and a little more confirmation down here, and we'll be good to go to right there to the downside. Okay, this one is still saying it has upward potential, but look at that. Ocean Wave called it all the way back here, and all these pips you could have made with Ocean Wave. 264 pips, smooth up. Okay, called it. All right, this is choppy and sloppy, another CAD pair. See, this is why I'm not a fan of the CAD. Okay, look at that. It was just choppy and sloppy the whole time. So nothing there. Never force a trade. Never force it. Look at this, smooth as butter. Okay, EA, I don't see anything coming up this week on it so far. This one is another JPY pair. It's at the neutral zone on the 30-minute. If I drop down to the 15-minute, look at there. Arrow is already coming in. Told you. A little more confirmation on this, and I'll probably be riding this to the downside, me personally. Okay? So, you know, for recovery pair, GU is going to be my favorite one for pullback and shoot back up to the upside. As far as for trading the trends using Ocean Wave, the JPYs is presenting the best opportunity to me, for me. All right, I don't see anything here. All right, here we go again. Look at that. It's at the, they cross below the neutral zone. Blue is neutral zone, okay? You want to wait. But on the 15-minute, look at there. We just need a little more confirmation that, yes, it's ready to trend down, but look at that trend move upward. Now it looks like it already broke through the neutral zone, comfortably below the main wave, which is mine. I set the color as yellow, and you can see it's comfortably below there. And again, what kind of pair is it? A JPY. So I think it's going to take a breather. Let's go back up to the 30-minute on this one. This one can still pop up a little bit here, but you can see back here last week, it was all the way 100% winner. Okay? Okay. Which, by the way, out of the trading systems, when you want to trade news events, the best one to trade is going to be Ocean Wave, hands down. It calls it the best. Okay, GCAD, look at that. GU, look at that call. It called it way back here. Smooth, came back up above the neutral zone, but no arrow came in. It said get back in right here. And before the massive move, look what happened. Ocean Wave called it 100%. Okay. G-Swiss, I don't see anything that I like coming up this week. NJ, okay, look at that. Okay, but I don't know about NZD pairs. We'll see, but look at that. Okay. In Swiss, I don't like anything on that. NU, here's somewhere I'm telling you. Okay, NU have dropped. This thing had called it. I tried to catch a reversal, which it normally does at the end of the midweek to the end of the week. I tried to catch it, but it said absolutely not. We're not done flushing this toilet. And it kept on going. So this one, it can have a recovery. I would expect it if you are going to try to ride this back to the upside, to the downside. I will hope that you wait for it to at least retest and get closer to the main wave like it did here. See how it dropped? Came back to the main wave. And then when the next arrow came in, it said continue back down. But right here, it's too far away from the main wave, so I'm looking and thinking that it may do a recovery, okay? So don't be in a hurry, okay? Now, in CAD, it called this all the way smooth to the downside. Big moves. That's why I said the Ocean Wave is the best trading system for beginners, in my opinion. Look at this. USD Swiss called it the entire time, okay? UJ called it the entire time, okay? Gold, it's at a neutral zone, okay? 15-minute. You can see, leave it alone if you're not sure, which I don't know. And this is telling you, I don't know. So leave it alone. Let's go to this one for the indices as well. Which, by the way, if I am going to trade the indices, I will be using the Ocean Wave. Okay, as you can see, especially from the 15-minute. Since it's real tight here, you can see that called it perfectly. S&P 500 called it perfectly. US 30 called it perfectly. Now, what do you see here? It started breaking down, okay? And you can even go to the 5-minute and see that. Look at that. Ocean Wave on the 5-minute called it right on the clock. Right there, before the move happened. Before the move happened from the 5-minute. So that's the reason why I would go with the Ocean Wave if it was me starting off with a brand new trading system, okay? All right, you guys, I have covered more than enough. Let me know via email or comment below if this video was helpful. I'm always trying to put out some content that's going to help the fellow retail trader. Sorry about all this bouncing. I got this camera doing auto zoom and I don't know why. I wish it would stop doing that. But either way it goes, I'll get this all figured out. But hopefully this video was helpful to you and a blessing. If so, let me know in the comment below or send me an email and say, hey, thank you, Uncle P, for the video. And it was helpful with this breakdown. Normally I would do these breakdown videos on Saturday and just do news events on Sunday. Let me know if you like it better if I'm doing both in the same video. Okay, let me know. All right. But either way it goes, I'll see you guys on during Wednesday's class. And again, there's no cost to come. And just, you don't have to buy anything. Just show up on Wednesday and just come on through. Ask any questions you have, whether you are in our family, the Super Easy family, or even if you're not. It's just open to the public. And the link is always in the description below. Okay, to our Zoom meeting. So just come on in, say hello during question and answer period. And if you have any trading questions, just ask. All right. All right. I love you guys. God bless you. And I'll see you on Wednesday's class. Bye.